can't remember.
Set it all in the same place, help complete the image.
What are your memories of the goal?
Well, Paul Henderson actually scored 3 game-winning goals, but the final, the winning goal was just, it was like 3 Stanley Cups in one, or everybody was watching.
Yeah.
Well, just think, you know, I played what, junior 30 years, 20 years after that, or 18 years after that, and jerseys were twice the size.
Yeah, you notice it.
I remember my dad talking about the goal and where he was at the time, and other family members. And I remember sitting down and watching highlights with him, and I remember sitting down and watching the Canada Cup where Lemieux scores a goal from Gretzky. And for me, that was the defining moment in Canadian hockey history. But my dad said, well, it's still not as good as Henderson's in '72. And right in the middle of the Cold War, that was Canada's big moment over the big bad Soviets, and there was a lot of stuff happened in that 9-game series, and it was a different time, a different era, a different game, and it's definitely something that I think every hockey fan can relate to. And I hope that my kids have a moment in hockey, watching hockey, that is like that my dad had, and like I had in '86.
This goal, you don't need to be allowed to take it in. Any hockey fan in Canada knows about Paul Henderson and the goal and the series. So my father shared his stories, and my mom too. So it's a special moment in Canadian history for everyone, no matter how old you are.
Paul's been on, I think he said 20 stops or something like that.
He will be on 20. I believe so far he's been on 14 to 15. Yeah.
Sure, gotcha. And I mean, what kind of things have you heard from him that you've learned?
Just amazing stories. It's very. It's not like anything else to hear something from a player who was actually playing in that series at the time and how intense the series was.
It must run the gamut as far as what kind of reactions you've seen.
Yeah, I mean, you see mostly it's smiling faces and like, oh my god, and the awe factor, but you do see some people get very emotional. This series was more than just a hockey series to a lot of people. It meant a special time with their family, or maybe a very cherished memory with their father before he died. Things like that. We've had people write poems about this and bring it in and tell us when Paul's around, or even other players we've had on the tour. They've actually not broken down, but you can see the tear in their eye and they start crying. They maybe read a story or tell them a very private tale of what this school meant to them. So for us, the team, we're all born in the 80s, so we were not around here. Yeah. And a lot of people come and say, oh, you weren't around, but we do. We understand it because every day we do this. We hear these stories from people that it's very, very touching, and it's truly a blessing for us to hear it every day.